Hello and welcome to the presentation about how did Vevazz come to be, right? So without wasting any time, let's get started. Vevazz was actually founded in 2010 and is the longest standing LED light therapy company in the United States. So anyone who's doing body contouring in the United States, I've been doing it longer, right? Vevazz has 3 FDA clearances with more expected here in the next few years. There's multiple different things that you can treat with the light therapy from Vevazz and studies that back up what the actual work does and how it works. I manufacture the devices myself here in the United States. And anytime the machine is down where you can't treat patients, it gets serviced within 24 hours. So that's kind of a summary, but let's get a little bit more specific because I like my story and people find it interesting. And my name is Dr. Jamie Fettig, right? I've been going to a chiropractor since I was 4 years old. My dad went to the chiropractor because his back hurt and nothing really helped his back and he didn't want surgery. So he tried a chiropractor and his back got better. And the chiropractor started talking to him about the nerves and how the nerves control everything. And so my dad told my mom, which is his wife, and she brought me and my 2 sisters into the chiropractor and was like, let's give it a try. She was kind of old school German and it just kind of made sense to her. So she said, let's try it. And within 2 weeks, me and my younger sister had stopped wetting the bed. And my mom went, well, I guess this works. So from that day forward, I went to a chiropractor pretty much once a month, at least for my entire life. And I remember when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I was hanging out at Bob Vetter's house in the backyard, and Tom Fuchs had to go to had to leave. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to the medical doctor because I'm sick. And I'm like, oh, why don't you go to the chiropractor? And he's like, why would I do that? And I'm like, to get your nerves working better. Huh? And I turned to all my friends who were there and I'm like, come on, guys, back me up. You should go to the chiropractor, right? And nobody else went to a chiropractor there. And I was like, what's wrong? Right? In my head, that's what I was thinking. Right. And anyway, so I'd always wanted to be a chiropractor ever since I was like 8 years old, and it blew my mind that not everyone else did. And when I got into high school, people said, what do you really want to do when you grow up? And I said, oh, well, let's look at this logically, right? I liked helping people. I wanted to be self-employed and I wanted to make lots of money. So what did I do? I became a chiropractor. Right. And that's what I did. Went to undergrad, graduated in 2 years, went to chiropractic college, graduated when I was 23, went straight into private practice. After I graduated chiropractic college at the age of 23. And what happened? Right. I almost had to file bankruptcy 6 months later. I thought that if you just got good results, you'll make a lot of money. And I was getting fantastic results with patients, but the problem was I wasn't making a lot of money. Right. And what I learned is I learned 2 things because I spoke with one of my friends, Jennifer, and I said, hey, Jennifer, what are you doing? You've been practicing less than me and you're making like way more money than me already. What's going on? And she said, well, and kind of summed it up into 2 things. She said, one, you have to market, right? You have to market. When I heard that, I was like, okay, I guess that's not what I knew, but I guess what I knew wasn't working. So I started researching and doing everything I could to learn as much about marketing as I could, because if that's what I had to do, I wanted to be good at it. Right. Then the next thing she taught me is that you have to have systems. Right. I read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber and I was like, okay, so now everything I did from that point forward, that was in 2000, from everything I did in that point forward, it was all about one thing and one thing only. Well, I shouldn't say one thing, but I always did that one thing, which was create systems for what I was doing. Right. Now, fast forward a bunch of years, and where was I? Right, I had $1 million a year practice, had lots of insurance hassles, had a ton of overhead with 10 to 15 employees at any given time, didn't necessarily have a ton of profit left over for myself, and I had to deal with those 10 to 15 employees and them constantly leaving, quitting, having to fire them, hiring new ones, right, and all that stuff. Now, that was all doable. It was good. I was helping people. People's lives were changing, and I was making good money anyway, right? In the low 6 figures, like take home money, right? So what I decided then was I said, okay, well, let's see here. All right. And I actually quit my practice because what would happen is that despite all those other things, what I would do is when I would go into my practice and I would work with patients and I would treat patients and I would say, hey, look, why don't you drink some water? And they'd go, but I don't want to. I'd have to go pee the whole time, right? People refuse to change their lifestyles to be healthy, to be well. And it drove me nuts, right? And it got to the point one time where I was working with Julie, and I was like, Julie, why don't you just drink some water? You won't have to come see me every week. And you know what Julie said? Julie said, but it's just easier to come see you every week. Right. And that was really the straw that broke the camel's back. And at that point, I was like, you know what? And I decided at that point, I'm going to sell my practice, right? Walked away. And what happened, excuse me, what happened was that I did nothing for a bunch of years until in 2009, when I found this system, this machine that helped people lose fat without any pain, surgery, or drugs, and without them having to make major lifestyle changes. Now, I started thinking about this, and I said, wait a second. What would happen if people lost a dress or pant size every couple weeks? What would happen to their motivation levels to change? What would happen to their motivation levels to be well? What I found was exactly that. Is when I bought a machine. It was back then there were 70 grand. Went into practice with a chiropractic friend of mine, and what I found was that, oh my gosh, now people will make all the exact same changes I told them to. Earlier when I was in chiropractic practice, they'd make all those same changes, but now, right now, they would do it to lose weight, even though that was the exact same thing I told them to do and to be well. And that's one of the things that I love the most about this is not an aesthetic weight loss program. This is not, just some easy, simple weight loss program for people to cheat with. It's a weight loss program that you get most of the people to actually make healthy lifestyle changes because it helps with the weight loss. Right? That's what I loved about this the most. Is what I always say. It's wellness disguised as weight loss. Right now, what I found is that it gave these people hope again, because so many of these people, they've tried diet and exercise. They've tried all sorts of different ways to do it and nothing worked. And that's what they struggled with, right? That, I just don't have enough will, and all the guilt trips that they would put on themselves. And when they did this, it was actually like, wow, now I'm actually getting changes doing the same things that I tried before that didn't work. Right. And what I found was that over 95% of the patients got results they were happy with. Right. To me, that was amazing. I'll talk about some stats here in a little bit. Right. And then the last thing it did is, to me was, again, part of what I wanted to do was help people. I wanted to be self-employed. I wanted to make a lot of money. And this made a lot of money. Right. And it was cash money, not insurance collections, not insurance audits, not insurance chargebacks, not insurance demand for notes, not insurances denying payment, right? None of that stuff. Right. This was all cash in my account. Now, just like you, like I said, I've been there, done that, right? I was in practice, right, for many years. I bought equipment. I had sales reps come in and lie to me. I had sales reps come in and break their promises after I bought from them. I went to seminars that just didn't deliver the results that people were talking about, right? I bought equipment that sat in the corner and collected dust, right? How many of you listening to this right now have done that exact same thing, right? People are not willing to change. Right. And that's what was my breaking point in my practice, if you will. And another big one that I hated is people blaming me when they wouldn't get good results. Right. So all this stuff that all of us deal with on an everyday basis, right? I've been in your shoes, right? I've been there. I've done that. Now, that's part of the reason that was behind me, right? Starting my business is I said, I'm not going to be like all those other people. I am not going to be the companies that charge you every time you want something on the back end after you purchase. I'm not going to be those companies in the back end that upsell you everything, afterwards, that charge disposables, that every time you turn on a machine, you have to, I'm not going to be that company, right? That's what that's one of the primary driving forces behind me starting this business, right? So what did I do? Is I started selling the equipment, right, for a competitor at that time. And then I actually also started doing this myself within practice with my chiropractic friend, like I said. And what I was able to do is in 2 years, right, what I did is I helped over, that's not true. That should be in a slide later on. But what I did is I helped, in 2 years, I helped hundreds of people lose an average of 2 dress or pant sizes in 6 weeks, because back then the machines weren't as good, right? And I did that making over $500,000 in those 2 years, right? Working a couple hours a week, working with one full-time employee, working 30 to 40 hours a week. right? That's what I was able to do. And what I have done, or what I show people how to do, right, is I show people how to do exactly the exact same thing, because I was a doctor just like you who did it just like you, and now I show you how to do it step by step, word for word, procedure manual for procedure manual, script for script. And what I found out was that when we worked with these patients, what would happen is they got a 730% increased success rate. Now, where do I come up with that 730% number? Is that stats are is that 87% of the people trying to lose weight at any given time in America, right? Sorry, that's not true. 87% of the people who try and lose weight, and around New Year's, it's not any time of the year, 87% of the people try and lose weight around New Year's. And what happens is only 13% of those people succeed. And it takes them 5 months to actually succeed to lose any weight. And that means that 13% succeed, right? That means I got to do the math real quick. 87% actually fail. They actually fail to lose any weight. Right. And that's why my success rate of 95% plus, when you do the simple math, what that means is over 730% of the people increased their success, actually got success, versus the 13% who tried. Right. And that results, right. And it sped up the results they actually saw by 163%, meaning that what would normally take them, 5 months to do, we could do in a couple of weeks. Right? And my average client, the absolute average person, lost 2 dress shirt pant sizes and 17 pounds in 5 weeks. That was an average, right? These are not record holders. These are not, this is the average number, right? Now, the number is actually a little bit better because of, all the different things that we do and add to it. But, right now, what else I found out when I did this in practice, right? One of the things that surprised me is that these clients were actually ideal wellness clients. Right? They were the people who didn't want to do surgery, didn't want to do lipo, didn't want to do dangerous drugs, injections, right? They didn't want to do all that. So they'd never done anything else. So when they heard about this non-invasive way, right, that was completely pain-free without any side effects to do it, they're like, hey, I want that. Right? Versus 6% of the American population out there has ever gone to see a chiropractor ever. Right? 6% versus how many people have tried to lose weight and spent money on losing weight. And so what we can do is we can bring in these ideal wellness patients who want exactly what a wellness chiropractor has, but they don't know it. And now that they come in for weight loss, they go, oh, I also want that. Right? And here's what I always tell people is I say, imagine someone walking into the office and paying you $2,000 and asking you, hey, what else can you help me with? Right? They don't do a consultation. They don't do anything. They just hand over a check. Here's $2,000 and ask, what can you help me with? Right? The idea of somebody doing that, walking into your practice and paying you $2,000 before they even talk to anyone, unheard of. They just don't do that. We're all thinking that's BS. That will never happen. But here's the thing, right? This is what else I found out about doing this wellness-based weight loss system is that what happened is that these people did exactly that. They would walk in, they would pay the weight loss side of the practice $2,000 to help you lose weight. And then when you talked about some of the other things that you could help people with, they went, oh, well, what else can you help me with? And that's exactly what they did. They came in, paid $2,000 for weight loss, and then asked how you might be able to help them with some of their other problems for the other services you offer in the office. We got 75% of the people to sign up for wellness chiropractic care who came in for weight loss, right? So, my mission, my purpose, right, is helping people become healthier and well. That's what I've always been about my entire life. When I was a chiropractor, when I did the weight loss business, it's all about helping people become well, right? And my secondary mission became when I started this business, this company, is to help doctors and centers implement a successful wellness practice, because we all have bought equipment that sat in the corner collecting dust and it was supposed to make us all this money. We've all gone to seminars that was supposed to help us do all this stuff, and it just didn't work. Right? And so how do I do this? I do this by offering the doctors everything that you need to do it. And I'm the only one in the industry who guarantees to make you money or your money back. No one else. And I should say in the industry, I probably could say in the whole chiropractic profession business almost. I'm sure there's probably one or two, but my point is nobody does that because most people can't guarantee it. I can. 95.6% of my people keep my equipment because they doubled their money. All right. So what do most of us docs do? And this is part of how Vevazz got founded, right? What do most of us docs do is we sell people what they don't want, Right now, when I say that, we all look at that and go, well, yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of silly. We don't sell people what they don't want. That's hard to do, but that's what most of us do as doctors. We sell people what they don't want. What don't they want? Well, what they don't want is stuff that they need. They need pain management. They think they need drugs. They think they need supplements. They think they need physical therapy. Right? These are the things that they believe that they need, not want. So what do we do? What's the secret? What should we be doing? And this is what I teach people. This is why I created this company, is because what we should be doing as doctors is we should be selling people what they already want and they're already paying cash for. Now, when I say that, everybody goes, duh, but we don't do it in practice. We get on our high almighty egos and say, oh, well, I'm above that, or that's beneath me, or that shouldn't be in the scope of the practice. Or we have all these reasons and excuses of why not to sell people what they already want and what they're already paying cash for. And now, you guessed it. What do they want? What are they paying cash for? Weight loss, anti-aging, neuropathy, cellulite, right? All the different things that my machine and light therapy can treat is what they want and already paying cash for. Now, the beauty of these systems, the beauty of why I created my company the way I do, is that this isn't just about weight loss and looking better with anti-aging and anything like that, or treating symptoms with neuropathy, right? What this is about, all of my systems, all of my programs that come with all of my equipment, they're all about one thing and one thing only: improving a patient's wellness. That's what they do, every one of them. They improve the patient's wellness. Light therapy is part of that, as part of how we improve their wellness, but it's all wellness based. And we don't go out and say, hey, come to me, I'll improve your wellness, because nobody wants that. That's what they need, not what they want. What they want is weight loss. So we'd say, hey, come with guaranteed weight loss. And how do we get them to guaranteed weight loss? By doing the things that make them well, right? Come get anti-aging, right? And by the way, in 2018, people spent more money on anti-aging than they did weight loss for the first time in years, right? Some cash-based business, anti-aging is now bigger than weight loss, right? So 10 years ago when I started doing this, light therapy for fat loss was all the rave. And now, everyone's got a machine and everyone's doing it. But anti-aging is now the latest and greatest market. And how do we help people stop the anti-aging process? By improving their wellness, right? So again, that's what people want. That's what we should be selling them. And we sell them these programs, but what are we doing? Ultimately, we're helping them be well. That's what I love the most about this. So, 10 years later, where are we at, right? I got different colored lights. I got different, programs. I got different, all sorts of different things. But weight loss, anti-aging, and neuropathy are the three big ones that I do the most, right? Other things that light treatment has shown to help that you can use my product with for off-label use, soon to be on-label, depending on which order we're getting the FDA clearances in. But skin tightening, wrinkle reduction, scar reduction, stretch marks, cellulite, acne, pain and inflammation, right? These are all things that have been shown with study after study after study to actually work. And to me, the best study in the world is the one you do in your own practice with your own patients and see if they actually get better. We can prove almost anything with a study nowadays if you fund it right and select the data right and cherry pick everything right. But we all know at the end of the day, what really matters is what happens with the patients in the office. And that's why one of the things I do is I give a 60-day guarantee to try any of my equipment, systems, and machines. And if you don't see results with your own patients, send it back for a full refund within 60 days. And you get your money back in full. All right. So that's where Vevazz is today. The different products we have face masks, we have whole body vibration units, we have a whole body light bed, we have contouring machine for neuropathy, pain, inflammation, fat loss, right? We have Vevazz Vision that helps people change their mindset, so that these results that we're going for all happen and stay longer. Right. And what I show people how to do, show people just like you, is I show you how to help people with these problems while making cash money at the same time. Now, let me ask you a question. Earlier on the slide, I said my average person does $22,400 a month. What if you just made an extra $5,000 a month without spending any more money? So that all that $5,000 was now profit in your bank account, right? That you now got the joy of paying taxes on. What would happen to your bottom line if you got an extra $5,000 a month of profit? For many of us, that would almost double our take-home pay, if not increase it by 50%, right? And it doesn't take much to get $5,000 a month because the average person is doing $22,400 a month. Right. So my money back guarantees, and to me, this is the thing that, that really sets me apart, that really, why is it the reason that I started this company is that, you can look at these guarantees and go, oh, everybody offers a money back guarantee. But the thing about it is that in this industry, right, in the healthcare industry, no one offers money back guarantees. And the one or two exceptions who do, usually it's like 30 days with a bunch of fine print. Right. So the reason I like to point these out and really talk about these for a moment is imagine for a moment if I was lying to people, right, about my program, about my equipment, about my systems, if I was lying or even exaggerating the truth, right, could I be in business 10 years later? No, I'd be out of business because I'd have to give too many refunds, right? And that alone should tell you that, hey, I'm telling the truth. I couldn't be lying and still be in business longer than everyone else in the United States doing body contouring. Just wouldn't happen. Right. Now, I also have my 60-day guarantee I talked about. I have a no downtime guarantee, meaning that, if your equipment breaks and you can't see patients, I will overnight you the parts so you're up and running the next day, because I know what it's like to cancel patients when something breaks in the office. It's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes it. Right. My last one, my first one, which I didn't say, is that, I guarantee the best results. Also, like a lot of machines, a lot of people say their machine is the best, say their program, say they have turnkey systems, but they have no money back guarantees that actually back it up, which means that they could be blatantly lying. And once you bought, good luck, it's yours. Right. So my last part of my guarantee is, and not only do I guarantee results with patients, right, but I guarantee that if you don't double your investment in 6 months or less, send the machine back for a full refund. There's no fine print. There's no escape clauses for me, right? 95.6% of my people keep the equipment after 6 months. Right. I think that speaks volumes. And if you really think about, what everyone else is claiming, what everyone else is saying, you have to know that they are either exaggerating or lying, because they have no, if you buy the machine, you have no recourse when you find out they were lying, when you find out that it wasn't as easy as you thought, when you thought some, point made it, worthwhile buying some other competitors. It just doesn't. Right. And that's why I like talking about my guarantees, because if you really see that, if you really think about it, you have to see I'm the only one who really has any incentive to tell the truth. Right? So if you're interested, if you have questions, right, call me up, send me an email, right? If you want to watch a webinar more about my turnkey systems and how they actually help you in your business instead of just, how Vevazz got started, there, right? Go at vevazz.com/webinar, right? Go there, find out, see what it's like, right? And see for yourself if there's something that, not only A, fits in your office as far as demographics, but B, compares the equipment and all the different machines and systems to me. So again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Thanks. Make your day fabulous.